Let the Emperor judge the righteousness of our deeds.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to the stream. My name is Blessed Spartan, and today I've got another 1v1 for you guys on Caldaris Refinery. Now, I know I haven't been around for a very long time, or at least about 2 weeks or something. That's a long time for me, and I apologize. That's because I've just been doing work at university. Always the same excuses, but anyway, this has got a really good game for you guys here, and it's between two, again, very known, very well-known players, and both my friends. So come and check this out. Let's just appear from the shadows. Oh, hide that. No, wrong thing. Never mind. Okay. So, in the red corner, the massive, terrifying Chaos Lord is being played by Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is a very good player. Also one of my mates. And we have Tex playing as the Warp Spider Exarch. I actually don't think I've ever seen him play this dude. This dude is a teleport commander of the Eldar army, ranged commander, but also has a basic special attack, even without upgrades. I think he's actually the only primary ranged commander that actually gets a special attack without being upgraded to close combat weapons. Something that we might see changed, but I don't really know. And obviously, the Chaos Lord is a non-suppressible offensive hero for the Chaos army. Not that great. Doesn't do that great damage, but initially, but can be upgraded with some terrifying war gear, such as the Combi Flamer. Do you see Chaos Space Marines coming out, and the Warp Spider being ballsy, instantly capping, trying to decap this top victory point. As you can see, he's already got both these points, teleporting between victory points. This is a very, very good Warp Spider map that actually was in this game. We have these heretics, or I call them cultists, I call them cultists, because that's what they actually are, coming up against this Warp Spider Exarch. He's just going to walk away slowly. Chaos Lord activate his range stance, shooting bolt shots at him, and he's going to try and run away. Special type move there. Note to yourself that when a unit is actually facing away or walking away, the chance of being knocked back is increased, which is why when you try to kite, for example, Space Marine, Tactical Marines, Orcs and Banshees, the ability to special attack increases. You might get chain lots back, so make sure you kite or retreat in respect to best range and stuff. Okay, so that Avenger did actually go down to a bolt shot from his Chaos Space Marines. This Warp Spider Exarch is extremely low, but Banshees, close combat team for the Eldar army, coming in, being careful of Kill the Weak from that Chaos Lord, gives him health back, and that Warp Spider's gonna have to get out there. Will we see Kill the Weak from this Chaos Lord? There it is. Only manages to grab one Banshee, but it will be enough. Heretics come in with Doom Blast, and those Banshees are extremely low, but these Heretics are extremely low, might not be able to escape, get cut down by the Warps, by Avengers shots, and that Chaos Lord is extremely low. So Ace already losing a few members, might lose his Chaos Lord as well, and there he goes. Warp Spider did go down in that engagement as well, but a Chaos Lord and Heretic Squad did go down, and it isn't being replaced anytime soon. You do see Noise Marines being built from Ace of Swords, 500 to 470. These Chaos Space Marines shot firing bolts at these Avengers who are going to try and walk off, taking a few shots from the back, not sure what they're trying to do, and decide to retreat anyway. Probably didn't retreat through Ace's units, so Tex was trying to kite around, risk using the model, and didn't. Very lucky. This case, we're going to try and decap this point. One of the things you're going to do when you're decapping, especially if you have to, is face your units in the direction of the enemy base. So right now, these guys won't fire because they're not in this arc firing, so that's why they weren't firing back. But however, if you put them here, and they're looking in that direction, which means they'll take more shots. Heretics over here trying to harass this power node from Tex. Rushing at that point, end up losing a few models, but it's fine to probably retreat straight away after this, and that will probably cost more than all of those heretics. 8 heretics combined, so off they go, going away. Out of here, baby! You'll never catch me, damn you! And the Eldar, that's obviously the voice acting there that they were using. Oh gosh, I've got a horrible cold. Noise Marines are a ranged AoE of flame AoE squads. In Elite, they're both of these sound blasters, I think they're called noise blasters. Sound blasters, I think they're called. Actually, I'm not too sure, but both of them have been replaced by bolters, which actually makes them a lot more dangerous if against ranged units, especially on retreat, since the flame actually does area effect silence. I think it also does ability silence, so as you can see, there's units mark on them. And we might see cacophony from these noise rings, and there it goes, knocking back the Banshees. Probably going to wait until these guys are at full range. But as you can see, the units actually can't fire while cacophony is being used, otherwise they'll be broken. And we might actually see them losing another member, but they might escape without losing any. We'd be very, very lucky if they do that. And I think they're just out of range. Obviously, Tech's not using the Warlock, which means he won't get... I think it's called... it's not Fleet of Thought, it's something else. I can't remember what it's called. Someone can remind me. And that Eldar walks are jumping out of there. Walk Spider just running away. Okay, so getting pretty angry. And these Banshees going to use their Banshee cry to get out of there. I think it's called Wash Out or something. And they're going to Fleet of Foot away, flanking away. Probably going to have to retreat through this Chaos Lord, but it won't matter since they're already at range, and the Chaos Lord pretty much sucks at killing units at range. But we do seem upgraded with the Combi Flamer, which actually gives him a flame ability. I'm actually not sure what it's called. Immolate, there you go. Immolate, which actually is attack ground ability, does damage to vehicles, to buildings, and which means generators and units alike. But I think it actually does less. I think its damage was nerfed a bit in Elite in comparison to what it used to be in Retail. So anyway, these Avengers being upgraded with the aspects of the Avenger. Noise Rings coming up to harass them away from that point. And there they go, speeding away. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog. I should give them Sonic Hedgehog skin. That's how fast they are. And we do see a Guardian's Weapon team coming out of the field, suppression unit for the Eldar army. Very, very quick. I think it's actually the quickest setup unit in the game. But I think also when they retreat, particularly when jumped, they hang around for the longest. Not actually sure why, but yeah, this just happens. So keep that in mind when you're trying to retreat them before they get jumped. And those guys do get knocked back by the Banshees. Noise Marines taking huge amounts of damage. Heretics coming in. Noise Marines lose 2 members. Chaos Marines and Heretics are in that engagement. Heretics over here on the northern side. Using Doom Blaster. Don't manage. Grenade goes unmissed of them, but they manage to dodge it. Good dodge by Ace. And Tex is forced into a full retreat from that engagement. We're managing to pick off 2 Noise Marines, which means this building, these generators at the bottom, won't be going down in a hurry as if they would have been. So that is a win for Tex. However, Ace of Swords is now taken up to tier 2. And here comes the setup team. Here comes the setup team, going to set up against these Heretic units, but they're going to be harassed by his Chaos Lord. He's not going to allow them to set up and force them off. Waiting for the Die Avengers to come in and support it, taking huge amounts of damage from these Die Avengers, but also this Guardians team, Weapons team might also use a member, and there's Immolate on these Die Avengers, managing to burn a Guardians Weapon team in the process. The Chaos Lord's going to try and escape over there. There's Malignant Blindness allowing the Chaos Lord to escape, and also allowing these Heretics to get into range with the setup team. Might actually end up going down. No, managed to escape with 1 member. And there's a knockback from a lone Chaos aspiring champion. Might go down to a spike grenade, and there's a spike grenade. Oh, catching it in the back. 17 hit points, but here comes the power of the War Spider, just to say that, and it might end up shredding him. And there he goes, rolling away like a rolling away like a football, completely destroyed. And that is really a power of teleport commanders, particularly the War Spider, who's upgraded with improved targeters, which gives him increased range and damage. So this is actually crazy. 388 to 439, but also it's going to change. Getting a decap off on this point from the War Spider. Sorry, decap on this point on the War Spider. And Chaos Lord's pretty pissed at the moment, coming out, upgrading his War Gate to the Arm of the Inferno, which give him the Let the Galaxy Burn ability, and there's the power of the Combi Flamer, taking down one of those Banshees as they try and walk away, and taking another Gale down. There she goes, flopping to the ground. And at the back, we have these Noise Marines trying to get into range to suppress and to silence these guys, and they do. Look at the silence, stopping them from fight completely nullifies ranged units, but they do have a reload time. which gives you time to walk away. But look at the damage they do, having to get out of there from the Noise Marines using the cacophony, and the Banshees coming in trying to flank, and there they go. Probably going to retreat out of this since they're going to be suppressed, and they probably won't be able to take the Banshees as well. Besides, Chaos Lord comes in and do quite a bit of damage, and we do see a Blood Crusher coming out. It's kind of like the transport unit. It would be where the transport unit would be for other armies. However, obviously it can't transport. It's a demon, but also counts as vehicle, which means vehicle weapons will have 100% accuracy against it. So it can be countered by things like bright lances, but very effective for just pressurizing, and very effective, very effective, much effective. Love Crusher, sorry, got a bit crazy. Very effective if fought in groups, particularly, and worked very well with Khorne worship, as they are, you know, a Khorne unit. I haven't actually seen much speed worship from the heretics. Every different hero commander gets a different segment of the different ability, or different, the heretics act differently. So Khorne heretics actually speed up units by 50%, I'm going to guess. And Tzeentch makes them invisible as long as they don't fire, and what's it called? Nurgle actually increases their health generation. I think Nurgle's probably the worst out of all of them. And probably either the sorcerers or Chaos Lords are the best. But what's by having to jump away out of different Chaos Lords and Dire Avengers coming up, both upgraded with the aspects, and probably one of these squads going to go Dire Avenger Exarch. It looks completely different in the elite mods, and actually looks like a Dire Avenger, not a Warlock. How cool he looks. His little chain sword. And we do see a Bright Lance on the field. Look at the range of that weapon. And there's worship coming out of the field to help these guys get away. Dire Avengers coming against the Chaos Lord, getting knocked by Let the Galaxy Burn, and look at the damage those guys took. Health. Oh, 3 members do manage to go down in the engagement, and this weapons team's going to have to try and set up against this Blood Crusher. Banshee's upgraded with aspects of strength, and so that means, and their Exarch, which means they get the execution evades. But it's not going to matter. They have to retreat after too many forces up against them, and that Blood Crusher decides to walk right past the squad and go straight for the generators. Chaos Space Marines upgraded with the Eternal War upgrade, as you can see by the plus sign above their head. Also the glowing bolts on their signature, and the fact that their bolters are glowing pink, I should say, purple, sickly pink. And we have to be careful of these Live Avengers do quite a bit of damage. And look at the damage on these heretics, losing a few members. Live Avengers standing in front. Why is he set up in front of that weapons team, which means that this vehicle will have a hard time getting closer. Getting into close combat due to the pathing. Has to use a battle cry, so the Furious Charge to get into combat with them, but it's going to have to get out of there. And there it goes. These heretics should probably do some worship just to support it. And these guys probably could have been worshipping in the whole point, or trying to decap that point. Here comes the flag, and those heretics end up going down. There's the finisher from the Executioner Blade from the Banshee. And a grenade on the heretic squad. Look at the damage. Excellent grenades by Tex, and an excellent win for him. However, Tex, Ace of Swords is going for tier 3. And this Blood Crusher is going to need to get out of there. And there these Chaos Space Marines go, trying to decap the point. Heretics in the back, trying to decap this point. And it looks like that Ace might actually have to buy another Heretic squad to support this, because that was the Heretic squad with the Aspiring Champion, so that is quite a big loss. However, it's 400 victory points to 283, and the map is looking predominantly red, actually. So, as I can see, look, these guys are now in the range, which we either are firing, but they're not going to be able to beat 2 Dire Avenger squads fully upgraded. So they're going to have to retreat out of there without trying to take any losses. And this Blood Crusher is pretty angry. Look at that ass. That ass. That ass. That ass. And let's have a look at the resources. Tex hasn't got that much resources, actually, considering the fact that he probably did lose his generator farm and has taken quite a few losses on squads. However, while Ace, managing to protect his generator farm completely, he's actually got quite a few resources, particularly with Wreck, which is getting from 3 points there. Oh, sorry, make that 2 points. And we do see a Warp Gate going on. Oh, sorry, Warp Gate. This is not StarCraft. A Webway Gate going up for the Eldar army. It's actually invisible. It allows Eldar units to basically get around the map very quickly. And very good form of transport. And actually can't be detected unless it's been or unless you really get into a close proximity at this range, I think, with it, or unless you have a detector. So very, very effective. Very interesting place to actually pull. I thought you would have put it over here or farther around the back, but it's pretty harder for a unit to find it, or sorry, an enemy player to find it. And right now we have a calm before the storm. Calm before the storm. I say calm before the spawn. These warp spiders have just jumped into the fields and getting upgraded with that aspect of the warp spider. And these Chaos Space Marines, fully upgraded now, upgraded the Mark of Khorne, which gives them plasma pistols and chain axes. I think these guys count as power weapons, as you can see from the power fists above their heads. And also the aspiring champion leader of the squad gets a Inferno pistol, which you can see there, or melter pistol. And very, very effective at chasing light armored vehicles and wiping out units. However, they probably will still lose to this Banshee, since these Banshees are level 2 and the Chaos Space Marines are also level 2. However, Banshees are a dedicated melee squad, and with the aspect of strength, will probably be able to completely murder these Chaos Space Marines unless a global is used or they get support from heretics. These warp spiders are being completely annoying. Managed to take out 2 generators. Probably gonna jump away from these heretics as soon as they come to combat. And Tex actually hasn't realised that this is happening. Too busy engaged by this Chaos Space Marine to take a huge grenade to the bum there. Trying to knock back these and knock down. Managed to kill off the Exarch. Another member does go down. Will they be able to chase and finish off the squad? However, the heretics aren't there, so there's no worship. And the heretics wipe out the warp spiders as well. Tex unable to realise what's going on, being attacked in too many places at once. And crazy damage being done to Tex's army, allowing Ace to get back into this game. Even though he is tier 3, Tex was actually, I believe Tex was actually going to pull ahead there. However, he does lack substantially in power, as you guys can see from here. 15 to 39 income, 26225 to, that's my bus, that's actually my bus to get home, 352. So he's distracted. And these Banshees coming in against these heretics. However, Blood Crusher comes into the rescue and the Banshees are forced to retreat off. Or actually they're going to try and go up against it. Look at the damage they're doing, but the heretics are going to come in to support that, and it means that the Banshees will have a tough time dealing with it by themselves. But there's a Bright Lance setting up in an excellent, trying to kite the Blood Crusher towards the Bright Lance. And here's the power of the Webway Gates. The warp spider, sorry, Die Avengers jumping out of the Webway Gate, and the damage being done to these Chaos Space Marine heretics. And there goes the Blood Crusher's going to go down to shots from the Die Avengers, sorry, from the Guardians weapon team. Bright Lance being very effective, doesn't snare but does huge amounts of damage and has increased range. But we do see these Chaos Space Marine Terminators jumping on the field, teleporting now, having to instantly teleport away from those Banshees. Both squads, sorry, all of the members can be upgraded. Sorry, one of the members can be upgraded, but all members actually have a combi bolter, much like the, combi bolter, much like the Chaos Lord, and come with power fists. They are not a melee squad, so make sure you keep them away. They can be upgraded to melee if you decide to upgrade them with the chain axe. And that squad goes down by Kill the Weak. Heavy weapons team completely wiped out by Kill the Weak, and demonic visage causes all enemies near the Chaos Lord to passively use combat power 15%, reduced damage, and in radius of 20. So very effective. Kill the Weak managed to wipe out the squad. Chaos Terminator is probably going to be acted as a retinue for this Chaos Lord. Very well modelled by searching memory banks. Not found. I actually don't know who models are units, but we do see Dark Reaper squad coming out of the field. 400 requisition and 30 power. Very effective against. I think they basically do like a plasma gun damage, or maybe a bit less, but their damage is actually huge. Very effective against units in heavy armor. And look how cool these models look. These guys are having to teleport out of there, but there's no support from other squads. Heretics trying to go around, but they know they probably won't be able to help out much against these Banshees. And these guys are extremely low. Probably going to end up losing their member. And look at that. But these Banshees stop chasing. No, they're going back in for the kill. And meanwhile, these Chaos Space Marines have been upgraded to have Chaos Summons have been upgraded to have the auto cannon, which does explosive damage. Very effective range weapon against vehicles and infantry alike. But these guys are going down. Banshees getting quite a few hits off on these Chaos Space Marines, but these heretics are going to try and help out. There they go, trying to distract him. Probably going to go down if they don't retreat soon. And here comes the Dark Reapers. Grenade going down. The Chaos Space Marine squad manages to save that, actually save those Eldar Banshees, and managing to take off quite a bit, almost half of the energy from, half of the health points from these Chaos Space Marines. Chaos Terminators having to be very careful. Meanwhile, the Chaos Lord is decapping If he probably got into the line, probably use Kill the Weak on these Banshees, but probably didn't notice it in time. And right now, Ace is just decapping the map, trying to keep. He knows he might be losing these engagements, obviously with the Banshees still on the field. But as long as he can decap the map and annoy Tex, he'll probably be able to win the match. Tech's been upgraded his unit to have this what's by the Exarch, so to have the power blades, very effective. Does heavy melee damage, you can see from the hammer above his head, and also been upgraded with the enhanced warp jump, reduces teleport cooldown and increases teleport range. Increases health, I believe, as well. Yeah, and energy, which is standard. And as you can see, these Chaos Terminators not being as effective as I thought they would have been, but obviously been upgraded with that auto cannon. Managing to help. I actually was surprised when I first saw Chaos Terminators actually introduced to Elite. I didn't think they would be. I thought we'd probably get Obliterators, which is something that we saw in Dawn of War 1. Something to make them a bit different, but of course, you know, I'm not going to argue if they're cool unit, but just thought that maybe, you know, Raptors and Chaos Terminators were a bit too, you know, just too much alike Space Marine Army, but that's just my opinion, a comment from me. Maybe you guys can discuss that if you'd rather seen Obliterators or Chaos Terminators. Anyway, these guys going to engagement. Diveben's taking huge amounts of Dark Reaper's taking huge amounts of damage, and they might actually go down to these guys. Chaos Space Marines being forced out of that. And look how much damage these guys are taking. Would they escape? Look at the range. No, they managed to escape, and if they were even to get into that engagement, the What's by the Exarch was there. But these heretics need to be very careful and does knock back on those Chaos Heretics, and they need to get out there. Here they go, running out, but they probably will get shredded again by the Banshee. Probably shouldn't have used the explosion there. Should have just ran. Probably would have been able to make it out of there. But look at the damage from these dive benches. Manages to take out one member. There's Kill the Weak on that Water Spider, but misses completely. Chaos Lord trying to get into the gauge, trying to do some damage to him, trying to force him off, and only 350 hit points left. And Noise Marines upgraded with the Blast Master, which basically turns them into Plasma Cannon squads. However, their shots, while it's actually travelling through the air, it's an area effect weapon, projectile weapon, so while it's travelling through the air, it actually does knock back to friendly units and also damages friendly units if they're obviously caught in vicinity. That's friendly and enemy alike. And here comes a tank out on the field trying to upgrade it while the Chaos Terminators is like getting damaged there. And look at the damage from this Water Spider. Might actually end up going there and have to teleport out of there. And we actually might see this guy go down, and they do. See, there was a knockback from the Blast Master. And the Chaos Lord trying to destroy this Webway Gate or get into trouble with these Banshees, and probably going to have to get out of there. Look at the damage from these Banshees. Managed to get one member down. You can see the debuff from Demonic Visage and by the circle. Red circle around them. Dive just tried to throw a grenade, and I think they actually did manage to hit these Chaos Space Marines. I don't think they're going to want to go into engagements with those Banshees who are going around the flank. But they are going to use the effort to get away from there. This squad obviously taking too much damage, doesn't want to take any losses, and decides to teleport. And here we go, a shield being dropped from the Dive squad, which means they won't take any damage as long as they stand any range damage, as long as they're actually standing behind it. However, if you do fire at this little box here, then the shield will go down, and it can also be crushed by vehicles. And there it goes. This predator tank being upgraded with the Mark of Khorne, which increases its increases its damage output. Not sure by how much, but look at the damage being taken from the Guardian's weapon team. I thought he probably would have been better off upgrading it to the Mark of Nurgle, just for the fact that its durability would have been increased by quite a bit. He doesn't really need the damage, as he's got squads over here that can do enough damage. What he needs now on the field is probably durability and presence, something to keep him in the game, so he doesn't have to keep retreating, as his army is quite slow. Something you might have to keep in mind. Things you have to basically think about when you're upgrading units are how it's going to affect you in the late game, and you know, how effective will it be in the late game. What other units will have in the field? There's Kill the Weak from the Chaos Lord being knocked down on this, catching the entire range army here, except for, sorry, not the entire range, most of the range army here, and going to probably wipe out those Dark Reapers if they're not careful. Managed to walk out of it. These guys still taking quite a bit of damage, and here's the engagement. Bloodlust being activated on these units, which means they're doing increased damage on the Banshees, but it's too late. They're probably going to end up going down. Luckily that Chaos Space Marine manages to retreat out of there. These Banshees are extremely low. Chaos Predator completely actually killing off those Banshees, but going to go down to the Warp Spider, who manages to teleport in there and use his power blades. And these heretics do manage to take down that low Webway Gate. I think what Ace should probably do at this point, considering the fact that he only has most of a ranged army, he should probably go for more heretics just to deal with the Dark Reapers, as obviously they're only effective against units with heavy army. Heavy armor, which means that it won't be too effective against infantry squads. I mean, they still do damage, it still looks freaking scary, but they won't do as much damage, and it'll just be an effective use of his resources at the moment. Especially if the Banshee is not on the field to stop him or slow him down.
The enemy is taking a victory point.
Chaos Space Marine Terminators coming onto the field, probably going to do some damage to these guys, but only one of the members is actually there, so we make that Chaos Space Marine Terminator. And there's Let the Galaxy Burn, obviously very effective against the Eldar units at the moment. Eldar do require quite a lot of micro, and these units get into engagement with these Chaos Space Marines who just have to force them off the battlefield. And we do see the Warp Spider Exarch just being annoying, trying to harass these heretics and trying to harass the points as much as he can, because Ace pretty much knows that Tex pretty much knows he's behind, but Tex drops a Warp Spider trying to catch those heretics. Both of these scores upgraded with the Aspiring Champion. Okay. And these guys basically go into engagement against these Banshee units, against I can't even speak English. A fight is happening and these guys are taking quite a bit of damage. Autok trying to get out of there, taking damage from the Warp Spider Exarch on these heretics. And look at the Warp Gate, managing to kite them into the Warp Gate. Those guys will probably go down again. Look at the damage from the Warp Spider and the range. And almost managing to completely eradicate those forces there, getting completely caught out there from the Warp Spider Exarch and the Dive Rangers jumping out at that point. Malignant Blindness being dropped on the field, which you can see by the clouds that were above their heads, completely nullifying their sight range, so very low. But yeah, I think this might be the end of the game actually, guys, considering, look at the points, 18 to 173, unless he can decap these points, which he's going to try and do. And will he be able to get the Dark Reapers at the top as well? No, the knockback being done there from the Chaos Lords. Oh my gosh, 4, 3, 2, 1, and is that going to be game? No! What? Oh my god! He manages to hold onto it in the last second. But however, he is probably going to lose this Warp Spider Exarch, and I think that might probably be game. These guys need to start capping. Tex needs to probably try and cap this point up here with a unit, and looks like these Chaos Space Marines are going to try and come in to do that. And that is absolutely amazing that Tex was managed to hold out. But probably going to be end of game. I'm just being, I don't know, my faith in this is freaking crazy. I've seen comebacks like this before, but oh, grenade being knocked back. 2 members do get knocked back by the Blast Master from those Noise Marines. Noise Marines proving very, very helpful in this engagement. Gonna try and continually knock back these points there. I think he's going to probably end up using attack ground. But these heretics are taking far too much damage from the combined amount of the unit forces. And again, look at the damage being done to those guys. Need to get out of there. Needs to find a way to deal with these Noise Marines and the Chaos Space Marines. He's probably trying to move up these forces over here, which I think he's probably end up going to do against the Chaos Terminator. Look at the damage those guys are taking far too much damage. Isn't able to escape out there, and there he goes. Ace wasn't watching, and there goes the member, completely cut down. And there's his field presence gone from the battlefield. And just like that, it looks like Tex has managed to turn this around. Autok on the field, Warp Spiders obviously being purchased. Double Die Avengers, who are now level 3, or level 4, sorry, and Dark Reapers, who are level 3. I'm not sure how he's going to be able to come up against this, or how he's going to be able to turn this around. There goes Kill the Weak, dropping down on those Dark Reapers. Autarch jumping on these guys to heal them and increase their speed, movement speed. War Spider's jumping away, just trying to kite this Chaos Lord, but he is level 7, extremely tanky. War Spider Exarch level 8, level 5, sorry. And these Noise Marines just trying to get into the combat, trying to help against the Autarch. And it doesn't look like Ace and Mage really do much against his forces. There's too much things in the force against him at the moment. However, I spoke too soon. Unit goes down to the Noise Master, so to the Blast Master, which means that these guys actually might end up being able to escape out of there, luckily. Noise Marine managed to jump out of there. Heretics being quick to cap this point, trying to come up against this Eldar Autarch. However, 2 main units are close, which means that Chaos Space Marine Spine Champion isn't actually getting any attacks off because of how blobbed the units are around that point. Getting jumped on these Chaos Space Marines, trying to slow down Ace. Tech's trying to slow down Ace as much as possible. Manages to take a member from that Chaos Space Marine. There he is, left behind, splurting blood continuously. And these guys doing huge amounts of damage, managed to take down her shield. And Ace is desperately trying to cap this point on the back foot now while he was in such a good position. And it looks like this might end up being the last fight. Spamming, spamming out Chaos Heretics just so he can deal with so much, so he can deal much with so much range firepower against what Tex has put on the field. Tex mentioned to cap the map back and look at the chains from red to blue completely. These warp gates obviously proving to be very effective. 1.108 in favor of Ace, I would say, but Tex might be able to hold off. If he can hold off long enough, he'll be able to turn that around. Heretics taking quite a bit of damage from this War Spider Exarch. Oh gosh, stupid cold. And look at damage, this is probably going to be the last engagement. Guys charging, hold for a minute, lose quite a few members, and only 1 member is left. Will he be able to get in close combat enough quickly to take these guys down? Does manages to disrupt and knock back, and forces that squad off. However, he is extremely low. There goes a grenade at that point. Ace actually runs into that, loses quite a few members in the engagement. Chaos Lord tries to help out, but these Heretics at the bottom are trying to cap that point as well. Heretics over here not doing anything, not even included, but they are going to try and jump out. That point goes down in the center of the game, in the center of the map, sorry. These Heretics taking huge amounts of damage from the Dire Avengers, and these guys are also going to go down. Chaos Lord trying to support them, trying to do some damage, and obviously the range firepower, Chaos Lord taking huge amounts of damage from these guys. Trying to cap them up, but it's not going to be enough. He doesn't even have the resources, doesn't even have the energy. And there he goes. And already, just like that, Tex has just fought his way back into the game. Well, there is Ethereal Abyss stopping any units from capping that point. And there goes the point, and the game is over. GG. Ace of Swords wins the game, takes it, snatches it from Tex in the last seconds. And that's why Globals are awesome. Very good game. Amazing, so enjoyable to watch, and I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. That was absolutely awesome. Sorry, haven't been around for a while. I do apologise for that, obviously with university work and you know, live stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was an excellent game, and can't wait to see you guys in the future. Okay, good later, and bye guys. Chaos OP!